Top of the morning, y'all. I hope you're doing good, and I hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. I'm trying to get back with the joy of the Lord this morning. Even though it's difficult sometimes, I may never mention it on this channel. However, my toxic trait is that I love Jesus, but I also want to just slap some people sometimes. Y'all know what I'm saying? I can't possibly be the only one. But as y'all have heard on the news, gold just reached an all-time high today, $3,500. And then we saw Putin and all the other BRICS nations over there literally laughing because they're about to make a big move sometime this fall or winter, they say, to try to crash the dollar. So this is why we got to pay real close attention, because I didn't work my whole life to see my money worth nothing. Gold and silver doesn't operate on politics, though. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So this is why I go with Allegiance Gold. They will get you real physical gold, literally right to your front porch where you sip your sweet tea. So go to protectwithbuddy.com. I'll put the link below. Gold is security, y'all, and gold is freedom. Check these guys out. All right, so I got my buddy Ranger with me back here today. He's gonna watch my six while y'all are here. And I also got a very opinionated Blue Jay up about 50 yards on that way. So if he doesn't drive me crazy, I can get through this. I would never mention this magazine, if you want to call it that anyway, and any other time in my entire life, I would never even bat an eye towards these people. But due to recent events, I feel like these people should be a very high priority on the FBI to investigate. There's a left-wing extremist newspaper, magazine, whatever you want to call it, in Oregon called Eugene Weekly, okay? People out there probably heard of it, and nobody in my neck of the woods ever has. Back in June, they published a cover story praising trans extremists who are seeking firearms to intimidate people or even worse. And the thing is, y'all, people from Oregon can't even pump their own gas. They're not even allowed to pump their own gas. God only knows what other evils their government's up to. But if that's where it starts, that's pretty bad. But if this right here is not incitement, I don't know what is. You want to talk about, first off, there's the trans dude on the cover in his little pink stockings over there ain't never held a gun in his entire life. You don't hold a rifle like your dadgum teddy bear in your basement while your mom brings you Hot Pockets and soy milk before she tucks you in at night. I've got a shotgun up here. It's because it's summertime and I live in the deep south. There's snakes everywhere. So I ain't intimidating nobody but the snakes, and I make no apologies for that. Second off, if you're asking me if a trans person should be banned from owning a firearm, absolutely. Their mental illness completely excludes them from ever being allowed to be anywhere near a firearm. Are you kidding me? But the reason I'm telling y'all about this is back in June is when this was published. Back in June. And now we have another trans violent shooting at a school. So how does the FBI not go in and investigate this magazine immediately? And we got to bring attention to this, y'all. The rise in the violence that we're seeing from these people, it does not happen organically. It is encouraged. Y'all understand that? And it takes a special kind of loser to go into a school and hurt kids. But what was so crazy about the stance from this magazine is these are the same people the last 20, 25, 30 years who have all been screaming up and down that guns are bad and scary. But I guess the message they're really trying to send is guns are only bad and scary when they're in the hands of a heterosexual American white man. That's when it's really scary to hold one. What bothers me the most is that this mental illness right here that we're talking about is statistically females. They tend to be more emotional. All the men in this comment section said amen. And the males are more logical and more aggressive. Absolutely. So what I'm saying is, chemically, with all this fake crap that they're pumping into the systems of these people who are mentally ill, if you're blending some high emotion with aggression, that's a dangerous game. Y'all know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to propose something to the Trump administration today. I really hope makes it all the way to the top. Please consider this a petition from all of us, Mr. Trump. I know that ICE is increasing recruiters like crazy, but right now they're only allowed to get rid of the illegals. I would like to propose a new ICE department, one that seeks out the people who need to be committed to mental institutions. We're building jails like crazy. We can build mental institutions and make mental hospitals great again. Not because we're hardcore conservatives, not because we hate them, not because we want to teach them a lesson, but because they are a danger to society and a danger to themselves. Hit like if that just sounds the least bit reasonable to y'all. On another note, I heard that Eugene Weekly, this magazine I'm talking about here, is taking advertising from local businesses and even the U.S. Army. If there's any truth to this whatsoever, this absolutely makes me sick. And I'm going to hope that this is left over from the whole Biden campaign. He probably pushed it for the last 4 years, and the U.S. Army had a contract with them, and this is just kind of an overlap that still got in there. But the U.S. Army, I think you and I will both agree, does not need to be ever advertising into something this sick and it's this evil. So, Mr. President, I just want to tell you this morning, we're not doing enough to curb the grassroots movement of trans violence. And look, I know they're confused, and I know they're hurting, and I know they're going through a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean kids need to fear for their lives. That's all I'm saying. God bless you and your family. Be good.